Girl, it is 900 degrees. Shouldn't it start cooling off by now? Shouldn't it? It hasn't. Anyway, girls, I'm popping in. Girls and boys. This is for everybody. No cash doll. I'm popping in just very briefly for a little public service announcement. I know my last couple videos were trash and I've kind of been missing. I've been depressed. Big been depressed. Just, you know, the world, the weight of the world is flattening my weave, so we're here. But, so there was a young man. I don't have his name offhand because, girl, when am I ever prepared? Like, I was literally born unprepared. I was physically removed from the womb with no preparation. So everything from that, I've been unprepared. But there was a 9-year-old little boy that killed himself. And I'm getting his name right now. Jamel Miles. He killed himself because he was being bullied at school for being gay. And this is why I take great pains and great stakes in being an adversary. I go against people who make slick little jokes about gay people and, you know, homophobia. I don't do her. Racism, I don't do her. It's a lot of little carryings on that I don't deal with, and I'm very serious about it. And this is why. Risha, because Lord JT is in jail. She's not saying too much of anything, but Risha from City Girls, apparently about 5 or so years ago, or I don't know, I may be getting the stories mixed up and muddled, but years ago, JT tweeted that if she saw any semblance, now I know I'm using big words, what's her face? Young Miami ain't used these particular words, because I don't think she has the vocabulary to do so, but basically if she saw any semblance of homosexuality in her son, she said she would beat it out of him. So those tweets were dug up. I woke up either yesterday or the day before, honey. I haven't been sleeping, so it's all running together for me. But I woke up and Twitter told me that City Girls, Doja Cat, and a couple other people were canceled. And I was like, well, I just went to bed like 2 hours ago, so what they do? Turns out that's what happened. The City Girl, Young Miami from the City Girls said that. And then Doja Cat, there were some old tweets pulled up of her using the F word. The one that's gay, the gay bashing F word. And let me start with Doja Cat, get her right on out the way. She tweeted and said that she said the F word, and she actually wrote it out in this new tweet. I've said F got several times over. I think she said like 15,000 times in my life. I was young and do. Does that mean I am not deserving of support? Now, sis, if you would have just chalked it up to the game and said, dang, I did say that back in the day, I don't really feel that way today. Even if you were lying, the girls would have given you a little more. And then Young Miami, when her tweets were dug up, when she released her press statement, which you girls really need to find somebody to release statements for you so we don't know how you really feel. Because Young Miami gave us, yeah, I said it, but that don't mean I hate gay people. My favorite cousin is gay. My hairdresser is gay. My stylist is gay. And my makeup artist is gay. I love gay people. And what you really just said is, I implore gay people. I implore them to be my servants. I implore them to work for me. And my cousin, I got to love him because he's my cousin. That's how I read it. That's how I read it. And she continued to say that I, still don't want my son to be gay and do. And it's like, I guess you can express your thoughts on not wanting your child to be gay, but to me, it feels weird. It feels really weird for parents to sit around and think about their child's sexuality, how they may be sexually. That feels strange to me. I've been around children for a while. I've got nephews, I've got a niece. I never look at those babies and say, now if I find out they want to sleep with a man, it's on, or a woman, it's on. I've never said that in my life because I don't look at children. I don't look at grown adults. I don't look at actual I already know you gay adults and think of them in a way that is sexual. And I think that's the difference between me and a lot of people. Parents are wasting their time. Grown adults, not even just parents, grown adults are wasting their time trying to figure out what children are doing. When first of all, they're just children. Jamel Miles was 9. At 9 years old, honey, it was Bratz dolls and, Barbie's spa. She had a little spa. It was cute. I cut up some kiwis. My mom was mad because I used real fruit. But, girl, I had to put the kiwis on both my eyes and her eyes. We were trying to get, real cute for the function. I had my little Barbie Jeep, remote control Jeep, and then I had a bunch of G.I. Joe and, I had all sorts of toys. But the point is, I was playing with toys at 9 years old. And I was experiencing depression at 9 years old because I've been experiencing depression since I was about 6. I didn't know that killing yourself was available unto me. I had no idea. And to be honest, if I had known, I probably would have went on and went to glory at about 11. Probably. I didn't know. I have a problem with these children knowing that you can kill yourself. Why is this a thing? And secondly, why at 9 years old did this baby feel that there was no point in going on? Because of people like Young Miami, people like Doja Cat, people like a lot of y'all that post and say things. I have friends. All my life I have had little gay boys following me, and I'm following them, and we're friends and we're hanging out. It's just been the way it is. I don't know why she's driving on the wrong side of the road, but she needs to get that together. But that's been the way it is for me my whole life. I can think all the way back to kindergarten. Okay, this ain't gonna be this. I don't even know who's in that car, but it's loud. It's blowing again. See, this is why I don't come outside. This is why. Girl, I should have got up earlier. I done waited till the folks got off work, and I'm uninterested. Let me park over here while it's quiet. Anywho, like I was saying, I've had gay boyfriends all my existence, my full 24 years of life. And I've heard these children's parents, aunts, uncles, teachers, grown people that aren't related to them in any way, tell these little boys to stop switching, tell these little boys to stop acting like a girl, and all sorts of, carrying on. I personally, when I was younger, asked my cousin why he sounded like a girl. He didn't give me an answer. I found out later. He still thinks we think he's straight, but that's his business. But the point is, stop worrying about what children are doing. And then, when they're grown, they're grown. Why are you worried about what people younger than you are doing sexually? It bothers me. It bothers me. And it also bothers me that there are people who think that if I see any ounce of homosexuality in my child, which is relative, that means you are actively looking for something. And if the boy plays with a doll or wants to design something, or just plays with a girl in general, she might be a tomboy. But maybe she's a tomboy with dolls, because I was. And it's just like, if you decide that anything that your child does is kind of gay, you're going to beat it out of them. Imagine being a child growing up in an environment like that, where, fortunately for Jamel, and I don't even really know how fortunate it is because he's gone now, but fortunately his parents, his family accepted him. But imagine being a 9-year-old child and you're already aware of who you are. I'm tired of the whole, they're a child, they don't know if they like whatever. And it's just like, but if a boy comes home, a little boy comes home and says he has a girlfriend, ain't nobody mad about that. Ain't nobody questioning that at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But if he comes home and says he got a boyfriend, how do you know? What you're too young to know anything about. Girl, gay is not a learned behavior, sis. It's not. I promise you, it's not. I've been studying it for 24 years. Looking dead at it for 24 years. I grew up in the Kojic choir. The Kojic choir that brought us Sylvester. Oh, that's a light fragment. Yeah, you make me feel mighty real. Sylvester. And a whole lot of other. I got Kojic gay folks watching me right now. How you doing? Love you down. So I've been looking at it for the longest time, and I'm comfortable saying that it's not a learned behavior. Because who learned it first to be passing it on? who was the first person to learn homosexuality and teach it throughout all the years? All the Romans. Somehow it got passed over to America. Sodom and Gomorrah. Like who? Anyway, that's not my business. But can you imagine being a child growing up in a home where you're being beat for being even the slightest bit effeminate, and then going to school and being bullied to the point where you want to kill yourself? Can you imagine? Because I've been bullied at home to the point where I'm just ready to give up the ghost, and I'm still sitting on ready, like any old day now. Y'all say one more thing to me and it's a wrap. And I was bullied a lot in school, but that's just because I was weird. I've always been strange. So I can kind of imagine, but I really can't imagine on that level. I really truly cannot imagine on that level. So I'm here to give JT from the City Girls the fondest and loudest FU I can, from the heart. From the heart. Doja Cat as well, from the heart. Because I just found out Doja Cat was in high school in 2015, which makes her one of the young children. I don't know how old that makes her, but I know by 2012, honey, I was out. So she's at least 3 years younger than me. So she's of the younger generation, and the younger generation grew up with a completely different understanding even than my generation and the generations before me about how inclusion and all these things. Girl, Doja now, and people keep saying, well, give Young Miami some slack because she's from Miami and that's the culture. No, we're not cutting slack anymore. People are dying. People are killing themselves. We're not cutting slack. We're just not. I'm sorry. If you feel that you need slack because you were raised a certain way, that means you have the cognitive ability to understand that you were raised a certain way, which means you can counteract that. I don't have time. Because I've heard that a lot. Oh, well, I'm just... Try to wrap this up right quick. If you know you're from a different generation, you have the cognitive ability to counteract your teachings and do something that will help people rather than do something that will hurt people. You can't call yourself a Christian if that's your defense and make people want to die. That's why I have a real hard time going to church, because I grew up in a very churchy family and my family made me want to die very often. And that's, you know, that's my personal to do. But yeah, we're not cutting slack. We're not doing that. So anyway, let me get on in here because this thing is cutting off and trying me. But like, comment, subscribe, share. Let the girls know we're not cutting slack any longer because babies are dying. I mean, I know y'all want, a lot of people want gays dead, but do you want babies dead? Dead babies. 9 years old. I don't even hardly remember being 9 years old. I remember turning 10 because I was finally 2 digits. No, I remember 9. It was not a great time for me. But anyway, like 9. This baby hasn't been on Earth 1 full decade. All right. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.